Right, now here's a question for you. Have you ever heard of the Haunted Theatre in Inverness? This is Eden Court, and it was opened in 1974. It was founded on the grounds of the Bishop's Palace, and that was built in 1878. And you can find that was a bit of a while ago. The Bishop's Palace was initially built as a house for a philanthropist called Robert Eden. And word on the street is, apparently, there's a famous resident that just will na leave. The Green Lady, an unnamed wee wifey that apparently died right here on this site. And she's been kicking about ever since the late 19th century. It's said you could still feel her presence today. Even some of the staff have experienced it. Sightings haven't just been in the Bishop's Palace either, as some theatre staff have had reports of supernatural experiences happening in the bar, the box office, and the Empire Theatre. There's been ghostly figures seen crossing the stage and ghosts of wee kids in amongst the wings causing mischief. There's even been sightings of a lovely little couple that have been in and about the auditorium. And then when staff go to check on them, they've mysteriously disappeared. Now, Holly here is one member of staff that's agreed to speak to us today. So, Holly, tell me all about your paranormal experience stories. What happened?
So many different things. We've heard like very faint laughing, which is haunting. We've heard like muffled conversations, almost as if it's on the other side of a wall. It's not normally like a bang or a crash or doors slamming or windows opening. It's more normally very little things. There's a single corridor that scares me senseless every single time because the lights are delayed when they come on, and it's pitch black. There's no windows, there's just a multitude of doors and a black corridor, and it is horrifying.
I suppose there is possibly rational explanations for all these different things that you've experienced.
I mean, you could say it's a trick of the light, you could say it's, oh, you're just making it up in your head, but it's kind of like once you've ruled out all those options, what else can you really call it? Because it's one thing for one person to constantly say like, oh, I'm hearing things in the middle of the night, or oh, I keep seeing like this woman walking through the palace, but for several different members of our staffing to see it, how do you really explain that?
It's not just Holly that's had this happen to her. Loads of members of staff feel like they're constantly being watched. There's one story when a member of staff was closing up late, about 1 a.m, closing up the bar, when he heard footsteps behind him. And he said, "Come on, hurry up," only to turn round and realise there's nobody there. I think they were pretty spooked and didn't lock up on their own for a whole week. Another member of staff has reported voices coming from the cinema really late at night when there's not one member of the public in the building whatsoever. Pretty spooky if you ask me. Skeptics may say that these supernatural experiences may have more of a rational explanation. Staff might be working late and a little bit more tired and scared of the dark, and electrical equipment might malfunction, giving off these low frequency sounds that make us feel a little bit uneasy. But what do you think? Has something like this ever happened to you before? More to the point, can you prove it?